All right, here we go. This is the official announcement for the event coming up here in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Jeremy Dieter, and I am in Columbus, Ohio. And I know that people need to file in before we get started. But before we, while people are getting in, what I want to do is because people are going to be watching this later, I don't want this to just be boring, and drag on. Want to give a couple of announcements now, and then I'll also give these same announcements later. Two things that are being discussed right now before I get into the event coming up. Hello, Mr. Kawasaki. We are looking at the first thing being all militia. Militia is governed by certain rules. All militia nationwide is being called to allow other militia from other republics, the Republic of Ohio, the Republic of Iowa, the Republic of Illinois, wherever it is, to openly declare that the militias from other republics in the nation are allowed to travel freely through your republic as militia. It is unconstitutional for us to have a standing army. The founders were also very much aware of how they got this nation. So what they did was they said that each republic or each state has its own militia, and they can give permission to the states or republics around them to travel freely through their state as militia. If you do that, then you obviously have a larger force, but your Ohio people are going to be under the Ohio leadership. Kentucky people are going to be under Kentucky leadership. You may be standing together, but each militia is governed by its own leadership. So that's how you're not a standing army. So the first thing we're doing is we're announcing nationwide, all militia, open your borders for other militia to be able to travel freely as militia through your state. This is important later, because what I'm going to do is, while people are filing in, just go over a couple of things. Then I'm going to go through this presentation of this event, the how, where, when, why, and then I'm going to go back to these two things that I'm telling you now, and you'll see the importance here. So everything kind of ties in. Well, everything does tie in together. The second thing is, and there's a lot of ample reason for this. The second thing would be that we need our militia. So if picture your state and picture all of the states that touch it. Your state and the states that touch you need to make a compact, an accord that says, we watched last summer cities being burnt and the windows destroyed and the buildings destroyed and all of this, and we're not going to tolerate that in our city. That's not happening. So I'm in Ohio. If somebody in Pennsylvania says, all right, they're planning to do it here, they're going to destroy this city, well, we touch Pennsylvania, so we go to Pennsylvania. If you haven't noticed, it seems as though they may be gearing up for things, and we're going to get into a little bit of that too. So I see people are filing in here. Not sure how many folks we have. Devontae, what's up, brother? Chi-Town Mountain, how are you? We the People's Voice. We appreciate everybody being here. So, moving from Illinois to Tennessee in 2 days. Still don't want to drive this thing myself. All right, I'll try and call you later. Hey, Audrey's here. How are you? So, those are the two things, guys. First thing is all militia needs to open their borders to allow other militia to freely travel through their state/republic. And the second is that your state needs to make your state's patriots, militia, oath keepers, whoever it is that you have that's the interested party, have them make an agreement with the surrounding states that if anything happens, you guys have each other's backs. So let me get into what's going on here in Columbus, Ohio. We are looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, who was going to come here and speak for an event that was being thrown by another organization. They were told that they weren't going to be given any police or any barricades to do so, or any gates to do so. The gates aren't that big of a deal. They're probably more just a weapon, something for people to throw. But they said that they wouldn't do anything. Now these people are obviously taxpayer funded, and we are under the impression that they are here to protect and serve. So when they say that they will not do this for a sitting congresswoman, or for the people of Columbus, or for the other speakers that were coming, most people see this as something, there's a problem here. So they're already paid the tax dollars to protect and serve, is the impression that we're under. However, that may not be the case. They did win a Supreme Court hearing saying that they're not here to protect and serve. But if that doesn't seem right, then look it up and see what you think. We saw that they postponed the event or canceled it, and not a lot of people are happy about that. Police aren't happy about that. Patriots aren't happy about that. Nobody's really happy. This was a Back the Blue event. They were going to have Marjorie Taylor Greene. They were going to have the officer who saved the lives of at least one woman, probably two, that the 16-year-old here in Columbus was getting ready to stab to death. They were going to have him up and I think give him an award or celebrate him, something like that. When in a time when everybody wants to hate the police and defund the police, the city was getting ready to celebrate police. And so whether it was the state house attorneys and the state highway patrol attorneys, whether it was the state house themselves, whether it was DeWine, whatever it was, the event was postponed or canceled. And so what we've decided to do is we'll take the event. George Brown, glad to have you here. What we're doing is June 12th, National Loving Day. This is a day that celebrates anti-miscegenation laws. Pretty fitting. And we're going to meet at the State House. That'll be a Saturday. And keep up on event updates. That way you know what time, because we're not sure what time yet. So June 12th. We're going to be there. We're not going to buy a permit. Obviously there's no need to do that. The last organization bought a permit and a few $100s, and then they were told they really get nothing for it. So we're not going to buy a permit. We will have speakers. That's the plan. We're going to go down there and enjoy our nation. We're going to go down there and enjoy our freedom and enjoy our speakers and enjoy the day. That's why we're going down there. We're not there for any other reason. We're not there to pick a fight with anybody. We are freedom-loving people. We are legal, lawful, constitutional people. We're not there to fight anybody. The attorneys were told, and this is one of the versions that I'm hearing as to what happened. The attorneys for the State House and the State Highway Patrol were told by the police detective that the local leader of BLM said that he was going to protest. And upon that knowledge, they decided to give no police security. Well, our Patriot events are not dictated by the State House. They're not dictated by attorneys. They're not dictated by anybody but us. We are the ones that run our own events, and we always have. We provide our own security, and we've done it for years, whether they were sitting politicians or people running for seats or people that were sitting and running. We've always provided the security. We have top-notch militia here, veterans that have done VIP escort that, they know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly how to do it and to be the most effective at it. And, we're going to hold this event and have a good time. And what I need all of you to do is help me out. Oh, that's the weekend of the Patriot family reunion. We were wondering about that because we got the dates lost. Okay. Well, we were tentative on the date too. So if it's the weekend before that, it'll be the weekend before that. If it's the weekend after that, and I'll get with you on that. That way we don't clash the events. Because we do want to be there. And nonetheless, we have this event coming up, and we're not going to let it go. We are not going to allow BLM or Antifa intimidation to run the city or dictate our events. We're not going to allow the state house to dictate our events. We're not going to allow anybody to dictate our events. This is a call to everybody that sees exactly what's happening in this nation right now, knows exactly and precisely what's happening. That this event is in any event, any patriot event that you're going to have. It's a setup because they'll make sure that it is. The forces that are against us are going to, find out about our events, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure, they send agent provocateurs and do everything they can to, pick fights, whatever it is. We've all seen it. We've seen it here in Columbus. We've seen it around the nation. We will not give them the Midwest. And if they want the Midwest, they have to come through us to get it. There is no day on which we will concede what is ours. We'll stand. And just because this organization, did what, and let me say this, the organization that postponed or canceled their event, I wouldn't have gone about it exactly that way. But when you're organizing an event, people's safety that's a big part of your responsibility. And they were about 48 hours out from their event, and there's no way to recover that. There's no way to get security in place in 48 hours unless you got buku bucks, and maybe even some connections. So what I would have done is I would have postponed it and then given another date immediately, and then made that as the goal to make sure you had security by such and such a time, so that by that date you were good. It has served the purpose of demoralizing a lot of people and making people really, really frustrated at feeling like, now they have a BLM commission here in Columbus that it's like an oversight for the police type of committee, and they're trying to defund them, and they're doing everything they can. Well, the police still have plenty of people here that are unwilling to defund them, that are unwilling to let go of our systems. Our policing systems aren't perfect by any stretch, and a lot of patriots are not the biggest supporters of cops. However, we understand the necessity for keeping the tenets of a civil moral standard for our society. Let me also enlighten some of these folks from the defund the police movement as to what it is you get when you no longer have police, right? Now you have me. Now you have patriots, militia, oath keepers, Proud Boys. You have all of these different types of patriot organizations that are going to be the ones to make sure that we do not lose everything. You guys have to remember, militia has one job. They're the kicker on the football team, man. They got one job. It's to defend the nation. When we see that our cities are being burnt down, and when we see that our state houses and our own policing forces are being used as tools against us by people that are in much higher positions, then it makes all of the sense in the world for us to reach out to our policing forces and say, hey, check it out. We heard you're going to be standing down that day. We heard that you're not going to be there that day. We heard that you're going to have, you're not there for the event. So why don't you throw on your blue jeans and shirt and come join us? We'll be inviting every police force that we can find, that we can reach. We'll also be inviting every church that we can reach, every VFW, every AMVETS, Moose Lodge, Conservation Club, and every organization such as that, because we want to celebrate. We're not going to allow this to be taken from us. We're going to bring our community, and we're going to come together and celebrate our birthright of freedom, celebrate this nation, hold up our cops, because this is a Back the Blue event, and make sure that everybody knows that the Patriots are still here, that we're not going anywhere, and we will not give you the Midwest. We're not going to sit at home while people destroy our nation, and then our police say, no, you guys, we're just going to stand down. We're just not going to do our job because this is our orders. This is what we've been told. We get it. Politicians have sold us out. People in high-ranking officer positions in the police departments have sold us out. And then people above them, are our blatant enemies. And anytime we have an event, it's a setup. They're setting us up to try to do something. Do what?
Columbus Police wasn't happy about it. It was the state highway patrolman at the remember I talked to him.
So thank you for that. The State Highway Patrol, their attorney goes in, and says, oh, I don't think we should do this. Columbus Police aren't happy about it. State Highway Patrol's not happy about it. Nobody's happy about it. Nobody likes the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't come to Columbus on account of, what was possibly BLM saying, yeah, we're going to protest. And that's what shut it all down. Nobody's happy about any of this. And we don't care if it's a setup. We don't care what these people think they're going to do to our nation. We will not stand down. We're not going to stay at home while you guys just run amok and think that you can dictate what happens here with free men and women. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is allowed to speak here whenever she wants, and she has all the security she needs. Let me see here. Churches, VMWs, AMVETS, Moose Lodges. We'll also be sending out the press releases and the digital flyers to local press, national press, and those will also go to the police stations, all of that. So everyone's going to get the same thing. We're not doing anything under cloak and dagger at all, and we have no reason to. We're going to hold this event, and we're going to have a good time. And I'll talk about BLM and Antifa showing up here in a second. The Midwest is free. The events in our city are dictated by us and no one else. Their tax-funded responsibilities have either been ignored or they do not actually have the legal responsibility to serve and protect us. Let me read that again. Their tax-funded responsibilities have been ignored, or there is no legal responsibility to serve and protect us, meaning that court case that they had where they don't actually have to serve and protect, just like Fox News when they went to court and they're not under no obligation to tell the truth due to their licensing. I tend to think that most of the things around us are ways that they use truth to tell lies. And this is no different. If you believe, like Charlie Kirk, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, and about 4 of the talking heads on CNN and 2 on MSNBC, if you believe, when they say that the American people are being pushed into some type of conflict, some type of, I've heard everything mentioned, civil war, revolutionary war, some type of civil bloody conflict of some kind, right? And everybody talks as though they can feel the tension. And I believe that they're probably right. I believe that most of the things that have happened have gone down in such a way as to push us into conflict. I also believe that the people pushing us into that conflict are the exact same people that have every reason to be arrogant. These are folks that aren't just stripping away your nation and culture and your rights and freedoms right in front of you. They're doing so while harming children, in the schools. I'm not just talking Hillary Clinton harming children and Joe Biden groping everybody. I'm talking like in the schools with critical race theory right in front of your face. These people are shameless, right? They've, everything's poisoned: food, air, water, soil, people. And they're arrogant because they've seen success in everything they've ever done. Why wouldn't they be? Of course they are. I would be if I was some evil, moron out there. I absolutely, if this was my agenda and I had achieved all of these things, I absolutely would think that I could push the American people to the precipice, and that the police will continue to follow unconstitutional, unlawful, immoral orders. And what they haven't realized yet is that the police see the exact same things that we do. They believe that they can call the National Guard and continue to use them as pawns, continue to use them as political tools for, means to further take rights away from all of us. And that the National Guard leadership doesn't know what's happening. They believe that they can push us into a conflict so that they can finally crash down with an iron fist. And the patriot community in Ohio, specifically this part of the Midwest, has been big on the scene for years now. They know that we're here. They know that we exist. That's how they knew to target us. That's how they knew to pull all of this, to make sure that there would be some type of a catalyst so that they can, cause violence in the streets, and then they crack down with an iron fist and say, look at those patriots. We told you, they're violent and they're insane and everything else. When I'm announcing the event now and I'm telling you that we are peaceful people, we are freedom-loving, God-loving, nation-loving, family-loving people. We're not there to provocate any type of violence. We're there to celebrate our country, our communities, whether people like it or not. They don't have to. If they have a decent bone in their body, then they'll stay home while we celebrate if that's not what they like. And if they show up to protest us, then we'll know immediately that they're not decent people, because you have nothing to protest with us. Absolutely not, especially when we announce publicly we're not your enemy, we're your countrymen and women, and we're the only group of people out here fighting for your rights as well. And you hate us most of the time. All of our opposition, whether you're the tools, the government tools, Antifa, or the government tools, BLM, right? You guys have bought into the racism. You guys have bought into all of the division. You guys have bought into all of the hate. And continually around the nation, you've gone up to our faces, the faces of the patriots, and yelled at us and told us we were racist. And you tried to get us to buy into it. And guess what? We're still here, and we still don't buy into it. We're still not racist. We still haven't bought into the hate. We still love our country. We don't believe anything you say. We're not into anything you say. We haven't bought the poison that you bought, that was being sold you, right? By a government that hates you. And you believe all their curriculum. We don't. We do not. We're not going to hate you just because you hate us. We're not going to hate you just because you believe in the lies. It doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. You're dealing with mature adults here. All right. We love this nation. We have every reason to celebrate, right? We have every reason to come together with our entire community and say, you know what? Look, I've never even been a big fan of cops, but this is a Back the Blue event. That we're taking over, basically. We're like co-opting this dude's event because we don't want it to be canceled. We don't want it to be postponed. We understand the implications. Miss Taylor Greene is invited to speak here at any time. All of those other speakers, they're invited to speak here at any time. We have the protection. And most of the time it's not even needed, but they've done it 1,000 freaking times. And not to mention the State House says, oh, well, we're not going to provide security, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Columbus Police Department will. We don't have to be at the State House. You guys realize that. Columbus Police Department will absolutely provide protection, even though, it's suspect now that the seat of the chief of police in Columbus, Ohio has been almost, it may be completely politicized, maybe. Who knows? I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. Let me get a number 1 in the chat if you feel like I do, that we're not giving anybody the Midwest. if there's patriotic events here, it's dictated by us, the patriots. It's not dictated by police or state house or BLM or anybody else, man. We're not going to give our enemies the Midwest. If you want the Midwest, then you got to come through us. And we'll be there. We'll be there. And I don't believe, oh, nice, I see you here. I see the ones coming in. Appreciate it, Jamie Ledsome, Devontae Breckenridge, Patriot Apologist, George Brown. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're not going to just hand it over. Chi-Town Mountain. We have a long history in the Midwest of being we have that Midwestern kind of kindness. And everybody pictures it, moving a little bit slower out here, things like that. Columbus is different. It sits on the precipice of the North and the South, believe it or not. It's a very strange area in that Appalachian region in between. And when Columbus really represents the beginning of the North in this part of the country. So we have a long history of, just working hard and the political engagement that's taken place here over the years in the citizenry, if you will, has been pretty consistent. Here, there was in the 80s and 90s, there was a big lull. And then we ended up being, it was our time, I guess. We ended up bringing it back. And we do not want to miss out on our opportunity to regain all of the things that have already been taken from us. And we're going to disallow for further things to be taken from us, like this event. So I hope that, and here's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to try to do is Monday through Friday, I'm going to try to come onto this channel, and I'll let you guys know, each night, what time I'll be here the next night. That way, you guys can be here, and it'll always be around 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. That way, you guys can get all the updates. What's going on, and what the dates, the times, the location. Just know that the event is happening, that it is going to happen, and we may make it the week before the 12th, the weekend before the 12th. That way, everyone can make it. And this may get more and more serious as it goes on. And I can see that happening as it gets closer and closer, because a lot of people obviously didn't want this event to happen. So as usual, the Patriots, and this time it's our time here in Columbus, Ohio. The Patriots are, their backs against the wall with freaking everybody. We don't have the backing of police forces because their attorneys won't let it happen, even though the police want to. And they wanted to enjoy that event with Marjorie speaking. Everybody wanted to. We had other compelling speakers as well. So if you guys want this to happen, I'll be asking for your help along the way here to send my videos out to the congressman in Georgia, any of the other speakers, and helping to make this event happen. I really want you to be part of it. And even if you can't come to the event, which I hope you do, and I hope that you can, because I think this is going to end up being a really big deal. You could at least have this part in making the event happen and sharing it out and, getting it to the reps. So let everybody know that this is going to happen. And, we'll have to work on the date, and I do believe it'll be relatively early on a Saturday when we do it. So oh, good to see you, Deborah Davis Reyes. Yeah, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I haven't been there in a while. So anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you sharing this out, and hopefully we can get this going. And the militias that are organizing this right now are really focusing on, the security aspect. That way, whatever speakers we have, we won't have any problems. So the first two things that I brought up Bring this up to your friends. Bring this up to the patriots that you know. We need the patriots and the militia in each state to announce that they're allowing other militia to travel freely through their state. The reason is one, militia, we have our own rules and regulations that we live by, and that's one of them. We don't allow militia into our state or into our republic without permission if they travel here as militia. Now, if they travel, with their family or whatever, that's different. But we have to make that open declaration. The reason why is because if we're being pushed to conflict, like I said earlier, then it is important for us to take a pre-conflict position and allow our adversaries the knowledge of, we know what we're doing. We know how to do this. We are the militia. We do know how to defend. We do know how to protect. These declarations, such as making sure all militia can travel as militia around the nation freely, and making sure that all, it doesn't have to be militia. It can be, when I say that, I mean patriots, people that are interested, people that, whoever it is. You don't have to belong to a group. But if you're in the militia, then you do, that is part of the militia rules. Now, for the second part, you can be anybody, right? If your state gets messed with, you want to know that the surrounding states will come and help you. Those patriots, those militia, those oath keepers, those bikers, whoever it is. And you do the same for them. These two things, these two open declarations are pre-conflict positions that must be taken by everybody who takes seriously defending their own homeland. This is as important right now as anything else you could do, anything in prepping, any physical preparation, mental preparation, anything. So, as usual, if you like the ideas, they are now yours. They belong to you. Use them as you see fit. Make them your own, and tell people, this is what's going on and this is what we're doing. So spread it online, spread it in person. And thank you for your help. And Columbus, Ohio, thanks you. We don't want to fall, and we do not want to allow things like this to go on where the state house and police believe that they're able to behave this way. So, and then that it means, something to us. If the police aren't going to be there, then beautiful, because we're self-governing. We don't want them there anyway. We never have. We don't need them there. If you're going to be there as a police officer, we would like to have you there as a police officer in plain clothes, enjoying yourself, having a good time, not having to be on the clock, enjoying the speakers. Maybe you bring your family, maybe you hang out, whatever it is. That's how it's been, where they've really overdone it at times, and made us look like, like, what is going on? Then there were times where BLM and Antifa showed up in mass because they were bussed in, and a whole bunch of state house police came out, and again, if they weren't there, we would have dealt with it. We would have handled it. So we're prepared for these things by ourselves. And we ask, since the police are not assigned to our events anymore, because we have Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene coming, and we're going to try to get her. We're inviting her. When that's the case, they believe that they can stop our events by, not providing security. They're dead wrong. Those attorneys are dead wrong. Mike DeWine is dead wrong. We've had many events, and we'll continue to have more. And that woman and any of those other speakers on the speaker list are more than welcome to come and speak in Columbus, Ohio, anytime they want, and they will be secure. That's the deal. So, I appreciate you guys, and there'll be more details and updates as this goes along. I appreciate you sharing it out. I appreciate you being part of this, and y'all have an excellent evening. Thank you for listening to the Patriot Apologist.